So, without any further ado, I would like to ask everyone to remain seated and to join me in welcoming the Cole Sir John Franklin High School graduating class of 2018. 11, Ecole Sir John Franklin High School wishes to recognize the traditional Acacho territory of the Dene. And in their deep-rooted relationship with the land of present-day Yellowknife, we acknowledge our presence and share the territory of Yellowknife's Dene's First Nations, the traditional land of Chief Drygate. We recognize and continue to appreciate the long history of First Nations, Métis, and the Inuit peoples of Canada. With that, I ask everyone to please stand and join us in the singing of O Canada. I would like to welcome everyone, family, friends, especially those who have traveled to be here on this special day. You must be so proud of your graduate. I would also like to welcome special guests, senior staff of Sir John Franklin High School, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Carolyn Cochran, MLA Corey Van Thyn, City of Yellowknife Mayor Mark Pike, Chairman of the Board of YK1, John Stevenson, Board members of YK1, Tina Drew, Terry Brooks, Jay Butler, and Rashid Puwat, Superintendent Mitra Husalak, Assistant Superintendent Ed Lippard, and the Supervisor of French Programming, Jean-Marie Marianes. And I know there's lots of past grads at Sir John out in the crowd. Welcome. Sir John Franklin High School opened its doors in 1958, and today in front of you is the 59th graduating class of Sir John. And I would have to say, this is a special group of kids. I'm lucky enough to feel very connected to this graduating class of 2018 because of many reasons, but certainly one, the fact that I've been their high school principal for the last 3 years. So I've got to see them and know them in very interesting ways. But for some of them, I've got a chance to travel with them to Kenya, Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic. Those adventures are filled with lots of memories, but certainly a couple of them do stick out. Taylor Saloy singing Town Square in Warsaw. Or Connor Rocher wrapped in a Maasai blanket in Kenya in 30+ degree temperatures. Those things certainly are long-lasting memories. For some of the kids, not only did they have me at Sir John, but they were lucky enough to have me at Range Lake. Their elementary and middle school years. Lots of fond memories, but some of them do stick out more than others. Indoor recess for the 6th or 7th day in a row. I cannot get out of my mind that Taylor Pagonis Friesen was an active young boy. It's okay, Jen. He'll be an active young man. For some of them, I've got a chance when they were attending Willie McDonald Middle School to coach them in basketball. I'm not sure what I was really thinking. It's a girls' basketball team. There was lots of yelling and screaming going on, mostly by me trying to tell them there was a game going on in front of them. Right, Lindsay and Casey? But I have to say, I've got to see them grow up literally in front of me, to the proud young adults that you see in front of you. And each one of us should be very proud of them on this special day. Because it certainly is a special day. Exams are over. Maybe some of you want to keep writing exams. It certainly has turned out to be a nice day outside. I wonder why. The sun is cracking through. It's certainly one of those things that's important to be part of it. But today will be very exciting, exhausting, but tomorrow you will wake up and you will realize that you are finished high school. Graduating is a goal for many people in their lives, and today you must understand that you have achieved that goal. It truly is a turning point. Adults will tell you starting tomorrow, hey, real life starts now. You're going to start paying the bills. But understand that shouldn't make you nervous in a negative way. Because those people that have surrounded you to get to this point today will still be with you. Those people will still give you some advice, which I will later. Some of them obviously will just there for moral support. And those are the things that are going to help you progress to the next stage in your life. Because as you look back in high school, you may not remember everything in physics, sorry Mr. Kirkham, or mathematics, sorry Ms. Loshman. But you are certainly going to know and grow from taking those courses. But the things that will stick out to you will be Beauty and the Beast. Who can ever forget Jamal, or should I say, Gaston? High School Musical, The Addams Family, and many, many other productions that we've had over the years. Skills Canada competitions, Piper Leg coming out on top. Also, you think of the sporting events, super soccer banners, Cager tournaments. Nesbitt, have you not won a banner? I'm not sure. Or you think of Challenge Cup. And I say from this group of kids, I think of two things come to mind. Ben Grimes in grade 10 scoring our only goal on a penalty shot. That guy's still living the dream. Or the picture of Jack Panay grabbing the cup this year and raising it over his head with a smile ear to ear. Those are the kinds of things that you will not forget. Many of you got chances to travel to exotic places with your friends, your peers, your graduates. You've gone to Italy, Croatia, Germany, Mexico, Poland, and of course, a river track meet in the Fort Smith volleyball tournament. Those are the things that will be with you for a lifetime. You will remember those. But high school is much more than all of that. You have formed lifelong friendships. It is certainly the foundation that you will rely on for the rest of your life. But today it's more than just about the memories in the textbooks. It's about the accomplishment that you have achieved today. And you personally should be proud of yourself and feel very good about it. I am confident that you've learned to work with others, take constructive criticism, move forward, build respect with others, even the ones you may not have gotten along with. You've strived to be better strive to be better tomorrow than you are today. Those things, those skills were not developed overnight. It took a long time. And think about the things you would have done to build those skills. The hours and patience that your parents had, having you do homework at the kitchen table. How about putting the time and effort into science fair or historic affair projects through middle school? Not easy. But all that together makes you what you are today. Teachers giving up lunch hours after school 4 and 5 times a week just to get you ready for a test, an exam, or because you're going to be going away and miss school several days in a row and they knew that you needed that little extra support. Or it's the friends along the way that have given you support when you just needed to have someone lend an ear to you. I don't want to give you a big long lecture today, but I guess I kind of did, but I certainly want to give you a little bit of advice. Because tomorrow, you're no longer our students. You'll be friends, people that we'll chat with about what you're doing, what you're up to. But a quote by someone, I'm not even sure who, but it sticks out to me.
because it'll lead into what piece of advice I'd like to give today. The quote is, "There will be times when your best isn't good enough. There will be many reasons for this, but as long as you give your best, you will be okay." Keeping that in mind, the three pieces of advice that I would like to give you are summed up in the three words, and I will explain. One is celebrate, two is learn, and three is communicate. Number one, celebrate. Celebrate the successes along the way. You should feel good about your successes. Tell others about your successes. Life is not easy. It will have many, many challenges. But do take your time and smell the roses along the way. It is very important. Number two, learn from your mistakes because you will make them. Maybe lots of them. Learn from them. No one is perfect. Things will happen that are out of your control. You will just have to work with them. Take it in, think about it, and do it differently the next time. Number three is communicate, and communicate well. Thank those people along the way that supported you. I know we're in the tech age, and you're thinking, oh, I'll just text Mom. Thanks for that, Mom. What I would say is I would push you further. Those are easy things to do with social media. I want you to do it face-to-face. Don't lose that essence of communicating face-to-face through conversations. Those are very important. That's the way you see body language and facial expressions. Then a person knows how you truly feel as you're thanking them. It's important. And certainly do take your time and learn from those challenges and mistakes. And certainly think and celebrate those successes. And the communicating piece is people around you that support you. Make sure you do that. You tell them, thank you, I needed you, and this is why. It is important to continue to build those types of relationships. With all that, I wish you all the best. I ask you to come back and visit, give us an update, tell us a story, and I know we'll tell some stories from the old days. Thank you. I would next like to call up the Minister of Education, the Honorable Carolyn Cock, to make some opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, what an audience. It's packed in here. So congratulations, 2018 grads, you did it. I'm impressed with you. Your parents are proud. Your friends are proud, your teachers are proud, and I hope you're all proud, because you made it. You're graduating. Grade 12 is finished. So that's good. But I hate to tell you this, it's not finished. It's only just beginning. So you're going to have some really hard choices now. Some of you will choose to go into the work world. Some of you choose maybe to go to college, grades, and some might think about university. You have a lot of choices, important choices to make. No matter which choice you make, learning is just beginning. It's not finished. Education is the key to opening up many, many doors. But you're not alone in that. There's going to be some tough choices you'll have to make, and you'll find that throughout your life, you might make a choice today, and you might change your mind in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now. Because they're saying that the occupation that you choose today will probably not be the occupation that you finish when you finish working. Most people are having to take 2 or 3 different choices in life, and that's good. That's about learning more. But you're not alone in that, so I want to stress. You've had your family, you've had your friends to support you. Count on them, they're there for you. Talk to your teachers. If you're not sure which direction you want to take, ask those who trust. They're there for you. The Department of Education, Culture and Employment, we're also here for you. We structured our curriculum in your high school years so that some of you didn't like it. Not everybody likes math, science, English, social studies, but we made you take them. The reason we did that is because we wanted you to have a generalist education so that when you decide what you really want to do, You have a little bit of skills in every field, and that will come in handy as you make your choices. So within the Department of Education, we're not finished. We're still there for you. We're still there to give you advice. If you're not sure after you've decided on your own, or you've talked to your family, your friends, your elders, your teachers, those you trust, we have community resource centers. We have career development officers. Their whole job is to talk to you, to provide you a listing of all the different occupations that there are, and talk to you about the skills that you'll need and the courses that you might have to take to get those. We also have, if you do decide to go on to post-secondary, grades, college, university, we have the best student financial system in Canada. We have forgivable loans that you can, for the amount of years you've been here, that you don't have to pay back. We have repayable loans, but if you decide, if you leave the territories for education and you come back, we don't charge you $1 interest to pay those back. That's not available to all people in Canada. So I know that a lot of you are thinking, I'm done, I'm finished. Like, it's been a long 12 years, and it has been a long 12 years. But like I say, it's only just beginning. Your choices in life are now just starting. And I wish you the best in making productive choices that you can do. And don't worry, like I say, you will change your mind. You may change your mind. Some of you will pick a career and go on with that for the rest of your life. Others of you will make many choices. And that's what it's all about. That's what life's about. So I wish you well. I'm so proud of you. I know your family and friends are proud of you. And no matter what you do not forget, you're not alone. We're here to help you, and ask for help, because we're here. Congratulations, and I wish you the best. Congratulations, 2018 graduates. Thank you.
I'd like to call up, for one of the last times, the Mayor of Yellowknife, Archive.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are you feeling, grads? Good. I'd like to also acknowledge and recognize that we find ourselves on Chinese territory of the Yellowknives and Acres. And we're very grateful to share this land. A couple other people I'd like to recognize in the audience today. The first is Tony Auger, who was the kindergarten teacher at Range Lake North School. Some of the graduates who are here with us today. Mrs. Auger was known as Mrs. Parker when she was my kindergarten teacher at age systems. Just to give you a sense of the indelible effect that teachers have on their students. When I was in her kindergarten class, we had a piano in the room, had a circular rug in the center of the room. Every time she played the piano, all the kids had to come and circle on the rug. And there's times now where I still hear somebody playing the piano and I start to look around for the nearest rug to go sit down on. I'd also like to recognize my mom, Mrs. Hike, the classroom here at Sir John Franklin. Unfortunately, my mom wasn't feeling well today, so she's not here, and I know she really misses seeing the students worked with graduate. This also marks the end of my mom's career in education. She's retiring after this year, after almost 4 decades in the education field here in Yellowknife and in Ontario. And I want to say that, you know, I'm grateful that they're recording this, because I'm sure she'll watch the recording later. But she's been a huge influence, probably the biggest influence in my life. And I know she's influenced thousands of students over the years. So I want to say thank you, Mom, and I love you. Now, is Mr. Kern in the audience? Mr. Kern, are you around? There he is. So I don't have any sweater vest jokes this year, Mr. Kern. I figure when I run out of a sweater vest, it's time to get a new job, so there's that. But congratulations to all of you. You're stepping out into the world beyond the walls of Sir John Franklin School as graduates, but also as adults, as more fully engaged citizens in your community, in your territory, and in your country. So I want to offer 4 quick pieces of advice as you take on that role of citizen. It's critically important that we have active and engaged citizens. Even compared to 3 or 4 years ago, we're talking more and more about the foundations of various democracies around the world trembling, and that's a pretty frightening thing. So it's very important that first, you stay informed, that you read the news. There's not many newspapers left out there, but there's no shortage of online news to follow and TV news to follow. So stay informed. Learn what your city council is working on. Learn what your MLAs are working on. Learn what the government of Canada is working on. I was traveling back from spring break holiday with my family, along with a large group of students who were on the Poland and Croatia trip. And we were kind of snoozing in our seats, but I could hear whispering behind me. And then all of a sudden I heard one of the students say, "What? We have a mayor in Yellowknife?" So I thought, well, maybe I'm not doing my job well enough, but we got to get informed, people. Secondly, and very importantly in this day and age, it's absolutely crucial that students and everyone and citizens think critically. We live in a world where the lines between real news and fake news are getting blurrier and blurrier. So it's important to seek out different sources of information, compare that information, and make a rational decision on what you believe. Thirdly, get engaged. We've got municipal elections coming up. If you're not going away to school somewhere else in the fall, there's a potential part-time job for you. But getting engaged doesn't just mean running for office. It means getting involved with your city councilors, with your MLAs, talking to them. If you have an issue, if you have hopes and desires for your community, let us know. That's very important. And lastly, vote. Vote, 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 vote. The demographic that you're in, 18 to 24, is amongst the lowest voting group of all age groups. And elected officials like myself and like Minister Cochrane and MLA Van Dyne, we listen to people who vote. So it's really, really important that you make that effort. We've got municipal elections coming up in October. It'd be great to see you all casting a ballot in those elections. Lastly, I want to thank the teachers, the support staff, the parents, the guardians, everybody who contributes to these students' life in school. You couldn't have done it alone, so thank you very much to all those folks. And graduates, to close, I say congratulations. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I hope you choose to make Yellowknife your home in the future. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Mr. John Stevenson, the chairman of YK1 Board.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. It's a real privilege to stand here in front of you as a trustee and as a parent. It's something I've done for a number of years, and I really view it as a privilege to be part of your ceremony today. I do want to acknowledge my fellow trustees. So some of them are here today, but I'll recognize all of them. Vice Chair Al Short, trustees Tina Drew, Brigitte Farawat, Terry Brooks, Satish Garaparthi, and Jay Butler. Thank you for your service as our trustees. I'd also like to recognize district staff that are here. Mitra Hupsalak, our superintendent. Ed Lippert, our assistant superintendent. Tram Doe is our director of corporate services. Not here today, but appreciate all the work of our district staff that provide support for our work as trustees. I'd also like to recognize our elected leaders. Thank you, Minister Cochrane, for your wise comments. Thank you for rising to the role as our new minister. I appreciate your enthusiasm and your dedication and bringing your own experience. Thank you, Mayor Mark. You've got a consistent message every time about, for all of us, to be better citizens. And you've been our municipal leader for so many years, so thank you for your comments and thank you for your consistent attendance at our grads. And Corey Van Dyne is an MLA. Thank you for being here today. You told me you're an alumni coming up to 30 years next year, so thank you, Corey, for being here. Also, thank you to our staff in YK1. So we have administrators, we have maintenance people, we have teachers. Thank you for your dedicated work. the credit for the success of our students is part of your credit as our leaders in education, maintaining our schools and providing administration. Thank you so much for what you do. You've dedicated your careers to the education of our kids, and today is a tribute to your work as well as theirs. I want to thank many of the people that make this happen every year. I mean, it's beautiful. Janice Daly does this artwork. And so many people come together to hang curtains and put stages together and do a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Thank you to the Grad Council who have provided leadership in the school to determine the events and activities through your grad year. So thanks to the team that put that together. I also want to really acknowledge parents. I'm a parent as well, but thank you to parents for all the work you do to make sure our kids have a lunch and show up to school and participate in as much as they can in the different activities in our school. You've done yeoman service over these past many years. So as I mentioned, not only am I proud to be here as a chair, but I'm also a parent, and so all 4 of my kids have graduated from this school, as well as my son-in-law. So my son Gord, my daughter Sarah, my son-in-law Stephen, Linnea last year, and this year Neva is a grad. And as well, my granddaughters are at Sisson, so YK1's been a big part of my family for many years. And I actually want to acknowledge Superintendent Mitro Kuxelak. I just checked with him. He's been here 13 years, so grads, when you were in kindergarten, Mitro was starting, so you are his first full cycle grads. He's been there with you every step of the way as our superintendent, so along with your parents and the rest of us that have been watching you, he's been there for the full 13 years of your education. So to the grads, we'd all love to give you some advice. We'd all like to have another crack at being a youth. So it would be very cool to be in your shoes and know what we know now. So I'm not going to burden you, but if you want something later on, I'll give you some tips. But we've been watching you for about 18 years. We've been watching you here on the ice surface, on the trails, on the courts, on the stage, on the various venues in our school as you showed off your art, your drama, your music, your accomplishments in sports. We've been watching you, and you have provided us with the best entertainment imaginable. I've always said that going to watch my kids perform and whatever they're doing is the best entertainment that I can imagine, and I think your parents would agree. But today is the greatest show of all. Today is the celebration of your academic achievement, and I'm confident that you will find fascinating things to do in the next years. You've been working hard, it's been pretty structured for you, and now the doors are open for you to do all kinds of cool stuff. And there will be challenges, and there will be opportunities, and it's not always easy to tell the difference between challenges and opportunities. So rise to those challenges and open your minds and your hearts to the opportunities that will be presented to you. There's a whole world of things to do out there, so things are just beginning for you. I want to really congratulate you. I want to thank you again for the opportunity to come onto your stage and provide you greetings on behalf of the trustees of YK1. All the best. Enjoy your day today.
They're low of that. Okay, we're at the most exciting part for everybody, most nerve-wracking part if you're graduating. So I need you to listen up, because I'm guaranteeing they forgot after rehearsal last night. So, here's how it's going to work, folks. What's happening is the kids are going to get up in about approximate groups of 11. They're going to walk onto either one side of the stage or the other, depending on where they're sitting. What's going to happen is we will call them up. They'll move onto the stage. I will hand them the diploma. I will make sure we're in front of the podium, so anybody who wants to take a photo can move to the front. Just please be cautious and aware of other people around you. We are photographers, so we rate front and center. and then the student will walk off the opposite side of the stage, walk around the back, and then return to their seat. So obviously a picture can be taken when they're on stage as they're presenting their certificate, and then certainly as they walk back, if you do want to flag down your son, daughter, niece, nephew, grandson, you certainly can. Then they'll make their way back to their seat. As this whole process is happening, Mr. Kern and Mr. Bennett will be announcing the graduate and then reading a short bio which was written by the kids, maybe with some assistance by some of us or some of you. So, without any further ado, we'll be presenting the graduating certificates to the grads of 2018.
Just making sure the grads don't come up the center.
Brandon Adams. Next year, Brandon will be attending state in Calgary to study welding and pursue his dream of making coding. He would particularly like to thank Mom, Dad, Rose, Len, and his teachers for being there for him and helping him to be successful. Brandon is most proud of being born and raised in the North. Next year, Dinah will be attending post-secondary school to pursue her dream of becoming a teacher. She would like to thank her parents for allowing their daughter to shoot for the stars and for having faith in her to become the best she can. We would also like to thank Janelle and Nolan for all their support along the way. Tanner Arthur. Tanner's plan is to work for a year before going to school to pursue investigation studies in the hope of becoming a detective. He would like to thank his mom for sticking by and motivating him to graduate. We'd also like to thank his sister Taylor for putting up with him for the past 14 years. His final thought, I wish there were a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually have to leave them. Aaliyah Oman. To study history is what Aaliyah has always aspired to do. In September, she'll be at the University of British Columbia's Okanagan campus, enrolled in the History and Culture Studies program. When she looks back, she's especially proud of completing a half marathon in San Francisco. Aaliyah thanks her mom, who has been her best friend through it all. Dasha Basardina. Next year, Dasha will be attending Aurora College to study a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We would particularly like to thank her friends, family, and gymnastics teammates for helping her reach her goals. Jada Bolio. Next year, Jada will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience the world at work before deciding on a future career path. She would like to thank her father and her sisters for always encouraging her to go to school and for believing in her, and Miss Cleary for guiding her down the right path. She would also like to thank Tiernan and his family for welcoming her into their family, and the Vincinas for always supporting her. Christopher Beaverhole. Chris will take a break from school next year to work and have some leisure time before committing to further studies. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on his future. His family is extremely proud of him for being the first grandson to graduate high school and is wishing him all the best in the future. Brian Beck. Next year, Brian will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on his long-term future. He would like to thank his mom and his girlfriend for pushing him to do his best academically, and would like to thank Mr. Skogie especially for letting him take his class every year since he arrived in grade 9. Jamal Beg. Next year, Jamal will be upgrading and take some time to work and save up money for 2019 when he attends school. He would like to thank his mother and the rest of his family for all their support, and he'd like to wish his fellow grads the best of luck. Nicola Bennett. Next year, Nick will be attending the University of Calgary. While studying general arts, he will be training full-time in cross-country skiing with the Alberta World Cup Academy in pursuit of his dream of earning a position on Canada's national ski team. Nick would like to thank his mom and dad, brother Dominic, and last but not least, his coaches and teachers for all the love and support they've given him on his journey, but most importantly for believing in him. Nick is most proud of his accomplishments in skiing at the national level.
Stephanie Feuerbach. Next year, Stephanie has plans to attend Waterloo University to study business. She would particularly like to thank her family for their support. Stephanie would like to wish the graduating class of 2018 the best of luck in the future. Musa Bati. Next year, Musa hopes to travel around Canada after visiting his family and friends back in England. At this time, he would like to thank his parents for helping him make the move from England to Canada worthwhile. He would also like to thank all of his teachers, the office ladies, and his counselor for making his school life incredible. But not least, Musa would like to thank his graduating class and friends for making his experience in Canada the best year of his life, and he hopes to stay in contact with everyone. Michael Bishop. Next year, Michael will be attending the University of Winnipeg to study network security in pursuit of his dream of experimenting with the world of technology. He would particularly like to thank his mother, Michelle Taylor, for supporting him through thick and thin, and his teacher Travis Stewart for being supportive and kind whenever he needed help. Donnie Cole. Next year, Donnie will be skiing in Kelowna in pursuit of his dream of making the Olympics. He would particularly like to thank his parents for their unconditional support. Also, Donnie would like to thank Mr. Krause and Mr. Kowalczyk for making his senior year great. Donnie is most proud of Logan Shute for scoring the winning goal at Challenge Cup. Denmark Britain. Next year, Denmark will be taking a year off from school to explore his future options before fully committing to one. He would like to thank all his family and friends for always supporting him, and he would also like to thank Mr. Stewart and Ms. Prescott and Ms. Young for keeping him on track to graduate. Chase Bowman. Next year, Chase will be attending the U of A in Edmonton to study economics. He would particularly like to thank his family for the support throughout the years. Best of luck to the graduating class of 2018. Colton Brown. Next year, Colton will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on a future career path. He would like to thank his father, Brian, for teaching him new things every day, and his mother for showing him how to be respectful and responsible. Today, Colton is most proud of his family. Braden Charlton. Next year, Braden hopes to travel, see the world before choosing to attend university the following year. At this time, he would like to thank his dad and Janice for all their support and encouragement. Grace Clark. Next year, Grace is traveling to Finland with her twin sister Sophie. to see the world before studying contemporary music next year. At this time, we would like to thank her parents, Karen and Shane Clark, and her two sisters, Hannah and Sophie, for supporting her on her next incredible adventure. Grace is proud of many things, but especially of her love and passion for music and songwriting. Melissa Clark. To study environmental sciences is what Melissa has always aspired to do. In September, she will be attending the University of British Columbia, enrolled in the Earth and Environmental Sciences. Melissa would especially like to thank her parents for always encouraging her to do her best, and all her teachers, the administrators, and Mr. Krause for helping her achieve her goals.
Sophie Clark. Next year, Sophie is taking part in an exchange to Finland. We would like to thank her parents for supporting her in this decision, as well as her two sisters for always making her laugh. Best of luck to the grads of 2018. Shiraz Daher. Next year, Shiraz will be attending the University of Alberta to study pharmacology in pursuit of her dream of becoming a pediatrician. We'd like to thank her friends, teachers, and family, especially her parents, for always pushing her to do her best. Shiraz is very grateful. Yunel Dela Cruz. Next year, Yunel will be attending Lethbridge College to study criminal justice in pursuit of his dream of becoming a police officer. He would particularly like to thank his parents, Belle and Rolly, and siblings Faith and KM for their love and support. Yunel is most proud of graduating, maturing-ish, and making new friends. Manu Doneto Mail. Manu is graduating. He graduated. Good job. We'd like to thank his friends, family, mostly his dog, Fred, for being such a good boy. Good luck to the graduating class of 2018. Ariane Depot Bernier. Next year, Ariane will be attending Dalhousie University to study marine biology. We would particularly like to thank her family, her friends, and her teachers. But most importantly, she would like to thank her parents for helping her through everything. Chelsea Kate Diaz. Next year, Chelsea will take a break from school to work. She wants to experience the world of work before deciding on a long-term future career path. She would like to thank her mom, Marisa, for giving her the chance to get an education, and Miss Young, Mr. Knox, and Mr. Peters, and everyone else who helped her to be able to graduate. Siak Viraganji. In September, Siak will be attending the University of Alberta to study environment and conservation sciences with a major in wildlife and rangeland resources management in pursuit of his dream of becoming a wildlife biologist. He would like to thank his family members and all Sir John's staff for their constant support. James Drew. Next year, James hopes to travel, see the world before choosing what to do and where to do it. At this time, he would like to thank his parents for supporting him and his friends for encouraging him. James would like to wish the graduating class of 2018 the best of luck in the future. Tanner Dumont. Next year, Tanner will take a break from school to work. He wants some experience before he pursues a long-term career path. He would like to thank his father, Chris, for always being supportive and for never giving up on him, and Mr. McDonald for always checking up on him with his classes and making sure everything was okay at home. Today, Tanner is most proud of his mother, Melanie, for always staying strong and being there for him when he needed her the most. Obed Duru. To pursue studies in applied sciences is what Obed has always aspired to do. In the fall, he will head to university to commence studies. Looking back, he is especially proud of working with junior swimmers. Obed thanks his parents who keep encouraging him throughout his learning at Sir John, and all the teachers from Range Lake to Sir John who contributed to molding his unflinching work ethic. Obed would like to give a shout out to his friends and mates as well. Dylan Gojak. Next year, Dylan will take a break from school to work. He wants some experience before deciding on a career. He would like to thank his parents for giving birth to a legend and to his wonderful friends he has acquired for sticking around. Dylan is most proud of providing Shy Legler with an arsenal of wholesome memes.
Joshua Elford. Next year, Josh will be returning to Sir John to upgrade. He would like to thank his friends and family for supporting him. Josh would like to wish the class of 2018 the best of luck in the future. Alexander English. Next year, Alex will be taking a break from school while he figures out what to do with his future. He would like to thank his nan, his mother, and his grandmother for pushing him to graduate. Alex would like to also thank his teachers who really helped him and gave him a second chance. Donovan Evans. Next year, Donovan will be attending university to study computer science in pursuit of his dream of becoming an IT tech. He would particularly like to thank Lisa Evans, Alice Evans, and John Evans. Donovan is most proud of being able to graduate. Elizabeth Ewing. After much thought and reflection, Elizabeth has decided to follow a career path in tourism. In September, she will be at Thompson River University, enrolled in a Bachelor of Tourism Management program. When she looks back, she is especially proud of her accomplishments in fine arts after many years dedicated to both dance and fiddling. Elizabeth thanks her parents who have supported her throughout her formative years, and Mr. Krause and all the staff at Sir John for their support and guidance. Dawson Fowler. To teach math is what Dawson has always aspired to do. In September, he will be at the U of A, enrolled in the secondary education program. When he looks back, he is especially proud of graduating high school. Dawson thanks both of his parents, who were always there for him and helped him whenever needed. He would also like to thank Mr. Qualsey for being a great teacher and for being one of the main reasons why he wants to become a teacher. Callie Gardner. Next year, Callie hopes to travel, to see the world before choosing what to do and where to do. At this time, he would like to thank Arlene, her mother, for pushing her to do better and always supporting her, as well as Mr. Knox for the motivating and funny talks about life. Callie is proud of many things, but especially of getting her diploma and completing high school. Charles Isaac Level. Next year, Charles hopes to travel, to see the world before choosing what to do and where to do it. At this time, he would like to thank his mom and dad for supporting him in his education, as well as all the teachers that supported him during his time at Sir John. Charles is most proud of many things, but mainly his accomplishment to graduate in his second language. Félicitations, Charles Isaac. Ben Grimes. Next year, Ben will be attending university to study business in pursuit of his dream of becoming a millionaire. He would particularly like to thank his mom and dad for pushing him to do his best throughout all of high school. Ben is most proud of winning the challenge Cup of the Boys, as well as making many memories and friendships that last a lifetime. Noah Hashim. Next year, Noah will be attending the University of Alberta to study engineering in pursuit of her dream of becoming a civil engineer. She would like to thank her family for never letting her give up on her dreams. Melissa Hathkin. Next year, Melissa will be taking a break from school to settle into her new home in New Brunswick. She would like to explore her independence before returning to school in pursuit of her dream to become an art director. Melissa is proud of herself for making it this far and would like to thank her best friend, Shai Legler, for her unconditional support and wholesome means. Casey Hall. Next year, Casey will be attending the University of Lethbridge to obtain degrees in drama and in education with a drama major and an English minor in pursuit of her dream of directing and also stealing both Mr. Peters and Mr. Curran's jobs. She would particularly like to thank Mr. McDonald and all her other teachers and mentors over the years for putting up with her for as long as they have.
Brady Harbin. Brady will be taking a break from school next year. He would like to thank his mom, dad, and girlfriend Taryn for keeping him on track, and Wendy, Mr. Krause, and his tutor for helping guide him through school. Caitlin Hayward. To study sociology is what Caitlin has always wanted to do. In September, she will be at Concordia University enrolled in an open studies program. Caitlin thanks her family members and especially her mother, Teresa, who always pushed her to be the best she can be and for always standing by her side to support her. Caitlin would also like to thank Mr. McKenzie, Mr. Krause, and Mr. Paul McDonald for guiding her and keeping her on track throughout her years at Sir John. Luke Heel. Next year, Luke will be attending the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology to study business in pursuit of his dream of becoming an entrepreneur and retiring at 30. He would particularly like to thank his brother Tyler for giving good advice. Luke is most proud of having the loudest vehicle at Sir John. Ethan Hilliard. Next year, Ethan will take a break from school to work. He wants to get some experience before he decides on a long-term future. He would like to thank his mom for all her support and his teachers for theirs. Today, Ethan is most proud of the work he put in to graduate from Sir John Franklin. Cameron Hobbs Peddle. Next year, Cameron will be taking a year off from his studies. He would like to pursue his dream of becoming an RCMP officer the following year. Cameron would like to thank his parents and family for helping him throughout his high school years and being there to support him. Love to you, Mom and Dad. Sean Irwin. Next year, Sean will be attending Lethbridge College to study geomatics, engineering, and technology. In the pursuit of his dream of not living with his parents anymore. He would particularly like to thank his parents, though, for their continued and unwavering support. Nura Jalil Aga. Next year, Nura will be attending the University of Victoria to study engineering in pursuit of her dream of becoming a biomedical engineer. She would particularly like to thank her teachers, friends, and family for their guidance and support. Christina Johnston. Next year, Christina will be attending Medicine Hat College to study psychology in pursuit of her dream of becoming a psychologist. She would particularly like to thank her parents for always supporting her. Lila Judas. Next year, Lila will be upgrading and working toward a nursing for a personal support program at Aurora College. Lila would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her through high school. She would especially like to thank Mrs. Straker for all her encouragement on this road to graduation. Christina Marie Rose Lafferty. Next year, Christina will be attending the ALOY program at the Royal Military College of Canada, where she will further her education in military career. She would particularly like to thank her mother, Stephanie, for encouraging her to continue and to not give up. Christina is most proud of her family for being there for her when she decided to join the forces. Sahara Lafferty. Next year, Sahara will be attending post-secondary school to study policing to pursue her career with the RCMP. So she says to her fellow grads, watch out. She would particularly like to thank her parents, Miss Martin, and of course Wenbei for always supporting her. I love you guys.
Gabrielle Lamarche. Next year, Gabrielle will be attending Acadia University to study biology in pursuit of her dream of becoming a forensic scientist. She would particularly like to thank her parents, as well as her best friends, Ariane, Grace, and Sophie, for their endless support and love throughout her high school career. Gabrielle is most proud of her academic accomplishments and her ability to be a great support system for her friends. Branda Lee. Next year, Branda will be attending the University of Victoria to study general social sciences. She would particularly like to thank her best friend, Christina, her mother and father, Kim and Hung, and Mr. McDonald, Ben, and Natalie, for all her teachers for their endless support. Piper Lay. Next year, Piper will be attending the University of British Columbia to study environmental sciences in pursuit of her dream of making the world a better place. She would particularly like to thank her mother for always supporting her. Piper is most proud of participating in Skills Canada for cooking. Shiley Ann Legler. Next year, Shiley hopes to travel and see the world before attending college to get her bachelor's degree in nursing. During this time, she would like to thank her dad and her sister Zena for always being there by her side and supporting her unconditionally. Shai is most proud of Dylan Jodak and providing her with wholesome means to send Melissa Hapkin. Sky Lenny. Next year, Sky Lenny will be attending the Royal Military College to study the Aboriginal Leadership Opportunity Year program in pursuit of her dream of joining the military and becoming a nurse. She would particularly like to thank her grandmother, Sarah, and so many other family members for always supporting her and her decisions in life. Sky is most proud of being able to travel around the world and experience so many different things within the Army Cadets. Joshua McClellan. Next year will be epic for Josh. He would like to thank his family for all their help, and he wishes for the best for the grad class of 2018. Cherie McPherson. Next year, Cherie will be attending Lethbridge University to study nursing in pursuit of her dream of helping people when they need it most and giving back to the community. She would particularly like to thank her parents for always having her back no matter what. Cherie is most proud of doing things they said she would never be able to do. Lindsay Marty. Next year, Lindsay will take a break from school to work. She wants to experience that world of work before deciding on a future career path. She would like to thank her parents for always supporting her and Ms. Martin for all the help over the past 4 years. Kunafa Mara. Next year, Kunafa will be continuing her studies at McGill University, pursuing a political science degree. She would like to thank her parents, teachers, and fellow graduates for getting her here today. Best of luck in the class of 2018. Alan Manuba. Next year, Alan will be attending the University of Alberta to study computing science. He would particularly like to thank his mom and dad for giving him the opportunity to study here. Alan would like to wish the class of 2018 the best of luck. Dylan Martin Elson. Next year, Dylan will be attending SAIT to study business in pursuit of his dream of taking over the family business. He would particularly like to thank Mark Elson and Joanne Martin for giving him the motivation to accomplish anything that is thrown at him. Dylan is most proud of all the friends he's made throughout high school.
Chris Matthews. Next year, Chris will continue to work toward his own goals. Today, Chris is most proud of his improvements over the past year, and he would like to thank his peers, the people who supported him, and the staff for working with him and helping him become a better person. Colin McCormack. Next year, Colin will take a bit of a break from school. He would like to thank his mom and dad for pushing him toward his dreams and Chef Stewart for teaching him how to cook. Today, Colin is most proud of having the experience of going to a high school in the north. Irvin, you've written half a page here, so walk slowly. Irvin Mercado will be pursuing a career in the medical field. This coming school year, Irvin will be taking the University of Victoria Bachelor of Science in Nursing course at Aurora College. Irvin will also be achieving his dream of making his favorite teacher, Mr. Kern, say stupid things on the microphone. So, platypus, hooligan, put your cellular device away. But seriously, Irvin would like to thank everyone that's helped him throughout his time at Sir John. Halfway, shout out to Mr. Kowalczyk, Killer, Chef, Peter, Mr. Kern, and all the staff, especially the lovely ladies in the office, Wendy, Lindsay, Andrea. He'd also like to thank his parents and sisters, especially the one who ghost wrote this speech. Irvin has had an absolutely great time and made amazing friends at Sir John. Osio Mohammed. Next year, Osio will be attending Aurora College to study personal support worker in pursuit of her dream of becoming one. We would particularly like to thank her mom and siblings for standing beside her during this journey. Without their support and encouragement, she wouldn't be here today. She'd also like to thank her teachers and counselors who inspired and empowered her every single day. Thank you for your patience. Jamila Mohammed. Next year, Jamila will be attending Aurora College to study nursing in pursuit of her dream of becoming a pediatrician in the future. She would particularly like to thank her mother and sisters for encouraging her. Jamila is most proud of being dedicated to her studies. Jackie Moore Casetta. Next year, Jackie hopes to travel, see what the world has to offer. At this time, she would like to thank her mother Cheryl for all the love and support that was given throughout her years of schooling, as well as Mr. McDonald for taking the time to encourage her. Jackie is proud of many things, but especially of the late nights studying, stressful days, and exciting moments in finishing high school and not giving up. Eva Makamba. Next year, Eva will be attending the university in pursuit of her dream of achieving a Bachelor of Nursing. She would like particularly to thank family members for their support and constant encouragement. Eva is most proud of who she is, where she has come from, and what she has achieved thus far. Colleen Nagel. This fall, Colleen will study dance at Concordia University in pursuit of her dream to change society's perception of the arts. Colleen would like to thank her dance teachers and parents for inspiring, encouraging, and believing in her while dancing across North America. Most importantly, she would like to thank them for teaching her the power of never giving up. Ka Nakeko. Next year, Ka hopes to travel the world with his friends before deciding where to settle. He'd like to thank his parents for constantly pushing him to do his best, as well as the sidewalks for keeping him off the streets. Ka is proud of actually graduating on time. Sierra Nesbitt. Next year, Sierra hopes to travel, see the world before choosing what to do and where to do it. At this time, she would like to thank her mom and dad, her sisters Layla and Bethany, her coaches for supporting her in whatever she desired, and last but not least, Miss Martin and Evelyn Straker for helping her pass chemistry and always being her go-to people for all the stresses that grade 12 brings. She is proud of many things, but most of all, she's proud of sticking with basketball and hopes to pursue it after high school. Megan Newberry. Next year, Megan will be attending Vancouver Island University to study a Bachelor of Education in pursuit of her dream of becoming a high school English teacher overseas. We would particularly like to thank her mom, dad, and sisters for being there to support her, no matter what the circumstances. She is most proud of how hard she has worked to get to this moment.
Ross Ogilvy. Next year, Ross will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on a future career path for himself. Ross would like to wish the graduating class of 2018 the best of luck in the future. Kayla Agonas Friesen. Next year, Kayla will be upgrading in pursuit of his goal of being an electrician. He would particularly like to thank his mom and dad for helping him to do anything he needed help in. Jack Panay. Tomorrow morning, he will be starting a 2-month canoe trip from northern Saskatchewan to Arvia, after which he will be broke. So he will spend the following months afterwards working before traveling and heading to university in 2019. He looks back at high school with many fond memories. He would like to thank his teachers, coaches, friends, neighbors, and family for all the great times. Darian Peterson. Next year, Darian will be taking a semester off to work and then will be heading to St. in Calgary for a business administration. He would like to thank Mr. Curran for dealing with his shenanigans in English every year and his dad for being his #1 supporter throughout all of high school. Jasmine Powder. Becoming an early childhood educator is what Jasmine has always aspired to do. In September, she will be at Olds College enrolled in the Transitional Employment Program. When she looks back, she is especially proud of the support from her family. Jasmine thanks her father. Kennedy Prince. To study psychology is what Kennedy has always aspired to do. In September, she will be at Grand Prairie Regional College enrolled in psychology. When she looks back, she is especially proud of scoring well on the biology exam. Kennedy thanks her sister Katie, who was always there for her, and Mr. Knox for always believing in her. Tyresha Radisson. Next year, Tyresha will take a break from school to work. She wants to experience the world of work before deciding on a future career path. She would like to thank her mother, Doreen, for encouraging her, and Mr. McDonald and Mr. Manet for staying positive. Today, Tyresha is most proud of accomplishing her 12-year journey of being in school. Nicole Ryan. Next year, Nikki will be attending UBC Okanagan to receive her Bachelor of Arts in pursuit of her dream of becoming a teacher. She would particularly like to thank her mom and dad for loving and supporting her along the way. Nikki is most thankful for the friendships she's formed during her high school years. Shania Rice. Next year, Shania Rice will be attending college to study animal health in pursuit of her dream of becoming a vet tech. She would particularly like to thank her mother, Nancy Rice, for always being there when she needed her. Shania is most proud of accomplishing her dreams to prepare her for the future. Shania would also like to thank her other friends and family for believing in her and for being there when she needed them. Jillian Ryan. To study cosmetology is what Jillian has always aspired to do. In September, she will be at Marvel College enrolled in hairstyling. When she looks back, she is especially proud of receiving gold at Skills Canada for hairstyling. Jillian thanks her cousin, who never gave up in life and supported her through all of life's obstacles, and Isabel for guiding her down the right path and always encouraging her to do everything one step beyond what she believes she can do. Jessie Robbins. Next year, Jessie hopes to pursue her dream and career in the military. She looks forward to traveling and adventure with the Navy. At this time, she would like to thank her parents and Carrie Lynn for their guidance and unconditional love, as well as Mr. McDonald for his encouragement and support. Jessie is proud of many things, but especially of her ability to play Star Wars on the recorder.
Aaron Robertson. Next year, Aaron will be attending the University of Ottawa to study chemical engineering in pursuit of his dream of being a chemical engineer. He would particularly like to thank his family and others for supporting and helping him. Connor Rocher. Connor says, now that I've only got 2,703 weeks to go, I guess I'll go be an electrician. Connor would like to thank his mother, father, and sister for pushing him forward. Connor would like to wish the grad class of 2018 the best of luck in the future. Yetta Rodriguez. To study video game design is what Yetta has always aspired to do. In September, she will hopefully be attending Toronto Film School enrolled in video game design and animation. When she looks back, she is especially proud of participating in the Combined Arms Club. Yetta thanks her mother, who always supported her, and Ms. Schlosser for a math class that she surprisingly enjoyed. Chase Shell Lambert. Next year, Chase will take a break from school to work. He wants some more experience before deciding on a path. He would like to thank his parents for being the best parents he could ask for. Today, Chase is most proud of anything food related. Jacob Schubert. Next year, Jacob hopes to travel with friends, see the world before choosing what to do and where to do it. Jacob would like to thank his family and friends, as well as the SJF faculty for keeping him motivated and goal-oriented throughout the year. Jacob is proud of many things, but especially proud of walking across this stage. Spencer Scott. Next year, Spencer will take a break from school. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on his future. He would like to thank his family for always wanting what's best for him and for keeping him on track. Today, Spencer is most proud of being part of the Sir John Franklin graduating class of 2018. Kindred Scott Strong. Next year, Kindred hopes to travel. She would like to thank her family and friends for their support, and she can't wait to see what the future brings. Lauren Seabrook. Next year, Lauren will be attending Trent University in Ontario to study international development in pursuit of her dream of changing lives, aiding developing countries, creating global change, and working overseas. She is looking forward to participating in Trent's program of living, studying, and working in Ghana, Africa. He would particularly like to thank her parents and grandmother for their continuously loving support. Logan Shoup. Next year, Logan will take a break from school. He wants some more experience before deciding on his path. At this point, he would like to thank his mom and dad for helping him throughout his school years, and also his neighbors for being there whenever he needed it, and to all his friends for making his school years enjoyable. Today, Logan is most proud of parking in the staff parking lot every day of grade 12 without being caught. Every kid we catch next year, Logan, I'm going to bring your name up, just so you know. Rodney Savanda. Next year, Rodney will be attending the University of Lethbridge to study chemistry. Rodney would like to thank all his peers for being with him through high school, but would particularly like to thank his parents, Ms. Schlosser and Ms. Robson, for helping him become the best student he could possibly be and making every day in class a little bit better. Connor Siddiston. Next year, Connor will take a break from school to work. He wants a bit more experience before deciding on a long-term path. He would like to thank Jasper for being a really good dog, and Mr. Kern for showing him that the inevitable baldness isn't so bad. Today, Connor is most proud of Jacob Schubert for being his best friend.
Sonali Sivakumar. Next year, Sonali will be attending the Queen's University campus in London, England, to study life sciences with a Bachelor of Science honours degree in pursuit of her dream of becoming a doctor. She would particularly like to thank her friends and family for always supporting her dreams. Sonali is most proud of her accomplishments. Taylor Saloy. Next year, Taylor will be attending UBC Okanagan to study arts and education in pursuit of her dream of becoming a teacher. She would particularly like to thank all of her parents for supporting her throughout high school. Taylor is most proud of her music career in Yellowknife. Abigail Spronker. Abigail has enjoyed the last 4 years at Sir John and has learned so much. She would like to thank everyone that helped her on her journey, including Dan Byrne and Sandy Schmaltz, for their guidance and support. She will not forget the memories made while in the kitchen with Jeff Stewart and with Mrs. Daly in the library. Abigail wishes to thank her peers as well for always being so kind and helpful over these past few years together. She wishes the grads of 2018 the best on their future endeavors. Montana Standard. Next year, Montana will take a break from school to work. She wants to experience that world of work before deciding on a future career path. She would like to thank her family for helping her to get where she is. Best of luck to the grad class of 2018. Neva Stevenson. Next year, Neva will be attending the University of Calgary to study Commerce and Sciences. She would like to thank her family and teachers for always supporting her. Neva would like to wish the graduating class of 2018 the best of luck. Jonathan Stewart. Next year, Jonathan will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience that world of work before deciding on a future career path as well. He would also want to thank his parents, Daisy and James Stewart, for always being there for him, for pushing him and believing he's capable of anything he sets his mind to, as well as their unconditional love. He thanks Mr. Daniel Knott for constantly pushing him and not giving up. Today, Jonathan is most proud that through the support of many, he can stand here today. Jamie Stroder. Next year, Jamie will be taking a break from school to work. He wants to gain work experience before committing to post-secondary for his future career path. He is grateful for his parents' support. He would not be the person he is today without them. Matthew Sarkowitz. Next year, Matthew will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience that world before deciding on a future career path. Matthew would like to thank his parents and his girlfriend, Lindsay, for keeping him motivated throughout the 4 years of his high school career. Sarah Taggart Miles. Next year, Sarah will be attending the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus to take a Bachelor of Art in pursuit of her dream of eventually becoming an elementary school teacher. She would like to thank all her friends and for their support, the devotion from the grad council leaders, and of course the love from her parents. Sarah is most proud of continuing with French immersion all throughout her education. Samuel Teraposky. Next year, Samuel will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience that world of work before deciding on his career path. He would like to thank his father, Andy, for always pushing him to do his best, and Mr. McDonald for helping him succeed and keeping him on track. Today, Samuel is most proud of Logan Shue. Annie Thomas. Next year, Annie Thomas will be earning her Bachelor of Science at Dalhousie University. She would especially like to thank her parents for being loving and supporting, her twin sister for always being there, as well as the rest of her siblings for being a huge part in her life. Elizabeth Thomas. Izzy has always aspired to help the environment. In September, she will be at the University of New Brunswick enrolled in environmental sciences. Izzy would like to thank her parents and siblings for encouraging her to always do her best, and all her teachers for supporting her and at least attempting to tell her apart from her sister throughout high school. Matthew Walker. Next year, Matthew will be attending university to study economics in pursuit of his dream of money. He would particularly like to thank his parents for working in a bank because it gave him the idea. Matthew is most proud of himself. Robin Walsh. To study policing is what Robin has always aspired to do. In September, she will be at Lethbridge College enrolled in criminal justice. When she looks back, he is especially proud of the time she has dedicated to study. Robin thanks her father, Robert, who helped her along the way, and her counselor, Mr. Krause, for assisting her to get where she wanted to be. Ryan Walsh. Next year, Ryan will be attending the University of Lethbridge to study mathematics and education in pursuit of his dream of becoming a teacher. He would particularly like to thank all of the teachers in his life who have inspired him to take this career path, including, but certainly not limited to, Mr. Kern, Mr. Kirkham, Mr. Kowalski, and Ms. Scholzer, as well as his family who supports him through thick and thin. Gabrielle Wazakchuna. Next year, Gabrielle will take a break from school to work in Yellowknife. She wants to have a chance to make money and experience working before moving on to school for her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Visual Arts. She would like to thank her parents and brother for supporting her throughout high school. Today, Gabrielle is most proud of actually making it through high school. Lisa Weaver. Next year, Lisa will be attending SAIT in Calgary to study television production. She is especially thankful for her family. Lisa would like to wish the graduating class of 2018 the best of luck in their future. Lucas Wick. Next year, Lucas is thinking about a career in wheat cutting. He would like to thank his parents for being by his side throughout his school years. Lucas would also like to thank Mr. Knott, Mr. McDonald, Miss Hurley, and Miss Naismith for being great teachers. Next year, James Wiedemann. Getting ahead of myself. Next year, James will take a break from school to work. He wants to experience the world of work before deciding on his future career path. He would like to thank his family for the support they provided to him. Today, James is most proud of the life lessons he learned and the skills he acquired from his family and the school. Adam Yalaha. Next year, Adam will be attending Aurora College to study nursing in pursuit of his dream of becoming a doctor. He would particularly like to thank his father, Abdi Karim, for keeping him on the straight path, and Mr. Krause for helping him as much as he could. Adam is most proud of having parents who are great and amazing. Ryan Zhang. At this glorious time, Ryan would like to thank Mr. Knox, Ms. Flosher, Mr. Curran, and Mr. Kirkham for all the help they provided to him on his path of study at SJM. Ryan is proud of many things, but especially of his success in math and camera.
I present to you the graduating class of Ecole Sir John Franklin High School of 2018. I would now like to call upon Madame Ricard to be a part of the presentation of the French immersion certificates.
Good afternoon. C'est un véritable privilège que de remettre aux étudiants un certificat d'études bilingues. C'est précieux, n'est-ce pas, Nicole? Alors, je voudrais appeler Stéphanie, Grace, Sophie, Shiraz, Ariane, Nora, Gabrielle, Sierra, Lorraine, Niva, Sarah, Annie et Elisabeth. I don't know if you pay attention to that, but it's only girls. Stephanie Beyerbach. Grace Clark. Sophie Clark. Shiraz Daher. Ariane Despaud-Bernier. Gabrielle Lamarche. Sierra Nesbitt. Noura Jalil Aga. Lorraine Sibrou. Niva Stevenson. Sarah Tagarman. Annie Thomas. Elizabeth Thomas. C'est quand même formidable d'être bilingue. Bravo.
Thank you, Madame. I would like to call on our first guest who's going to introduce our first scholarship this evening, the City of Yellowknife Citizenship Scholarship. I'd like to call up Mr. Mayor Mark Hike.
Hello again. I'm very pleased to present the City of Yellowknife Citizenship Scholarship once again, $500 scholarship to the winner. This year's recipient was chosen for her dedication to the 4 categories of scholarship, leadership, service, and courtesy. As Landon Kowalczyk, our social studies teacher, states it, citizenship is defined as a way of being in which individuals are aware of and engaged in the democratic process. They are open-minded, respectful of others, aware of their capacity to affect change, with a willingness to do so while maintaining a level of care for themselves, others, and the world. While maintaining a strong academic standing, this individual took on leadership roles both at Sir John and the broader community. Recently, this recipient raised over $3,000 to purchase a cuddle cot and donated it to Stanton Territorial Hospital in Yellowknife. In her capacity to help others, she has raised more than $23,000 for local, national, and global charities in the past number of years. Some of these include the Gumboot Rally, Relay for Life, the Brain Tumor Walk, Me to We, the volunteer trip to Kenya, and many other causes, which have sparked an interest in pursuing a degree in international development studies. She will be attending Trent University in September. Please join me in congratulating a true role model who has affected change in so many ways, Lauren Seabrook.
Our next scholarship is the Diavik Diamond Mine 2012 scholarship. I'd like to call up Winter Haley.
The 2018 recipient of the Diavik Diamond Mine Scholarship has demonstrated academic excellence over the years in mathematics, humanities, and the sciences. Throughout high school, this individual participated in many extracurricular and volunteer activities, totally committing themselves to the task at hand. These include Challenge Cup, Skills Canada, Arctic Winter Games, and Scuba Club. They are a high-performance athlete, committed to physical fitness and outdoor experiences, from which they draw their inner strength when they are challenged. They work with young children at the Yellowknife Play School and volunteer their time coaching young skiers. This graduate is also bilingual, a choice they acknowledge has enriched their life. This intelligent, respectful student leader will be attending the University of Calgary next year, studying commerce and science. I am pleased to present this year's David Diamond Mine Scholarship to Neva Stevenson.
Our next scholarship is the YK1 Scholarship. I'd like to call up Board Trustee Rajit Lori.
Thank you. Dean can never get my name right. The Yellowknife Education District No. 1 Scholarship is presented to a graduating student who is entering post-secondary studies within the next year and who intends to pursue studies in education. The recipient of this award shows good community involvement, leadership in the school, and has an interest in education in the North. This year, the recipient of this scholarship was born and raised in the North and attributes their desire to teach English to their high school English teacher and mentor, Mr. Peter Curran. They have demonstrated their passion for education by teaching dance to younger kids for many years, and recently to teaching oil painting. In 2016, they actively participated in Sir John's Project Kenya, which funded the construction of a kitchen facility in a school in rural Kenya. While in Kenya, they interacted with kids in schools, orphanages, and clinics. They distributed food packages to less fortunate families and prepare and serve meals to disabled students at an integrated school and daycare center for HIV-positive children. They are deeply impacted by their experience as it reinforced their love of children and gave them a greater appreciation for the education we often take for granted here in Canada, and particularly in Yellowknife. This graduate strongly believes in the importance to give back. They hope to return to the North to teach after completing their post-secondary studies. They recognize all of the wonderful opportunities the North has given them and express sincere thankfulness to the schools, teachers, and staff of YK1. To study education, this year's recipient for the Yellowknife Education District No. 1 Scholarship will be attending Vancouver Island University in fall. Please join me in congratulating Megan Newberry.
The next scholarship is the RCP All Ranks Mess Scholarship, and I will actually present. This year's recipient of the RCP All Mess Scholarship is a young adult of an exceptional talent who excels both academically and athletically. A student who manages to balance school, sports, work, friends, and volunteerism. This diverse athlete has played in competitive teams in hockey, volleyball, and soccer, has participated also in every school sport. As a member of high-performance sports teams, they committed to leading a healthy and substance-free lifestyle. Through sports, they have developed strong leadership skills, which have been demonstrated by our coaches and mentor athletes of younger ages, including Special Olympics rhythmic gymnastics team. Their coaches speak not only of their skills, but also of their dedication, sportsmanship, and strength of character. As a young Clicho woman, she tries to connect her traditional culture as much as possible while spending time on the land with her family. She always
has been passionate about policing and has been accepted into both University of Calgary Policing Studies and also Mount Royal University in Criminal Justice. Before pursuing her long dream of becoming an RCP officer, she will first complete a 2-year outdoor adventure diploma program at Algonquin College. This most deserving student is the recipient of the RCP All Ranks Mess Scholarship of 2018 is Sierra Lafferty. Our next scholarship is the City Cab Engineering Scholarship. I would like to call up Office Manager Shirley McGrath.
This year's recipient of the City Cab 1993 Limited Engineering Scholarship is a student who enrolled at Sir John in their grade 11 year. They were new to Canada from India and had never experienced a winter like ours. As we can all imagine, the adjustment to such a significant change would be overwhelming, but this student transitioned so beautifully and embraced the Canadian and Northern cultures and traditions. This student immediately fell in love with the community of Yellowknife and its people. Although much of their time has been spent in schoolwork and working a part-time job, this student found the time to volunteer at Folk on the Rocks last summer. They loved the experience of interacting with the musicians, other volunteers, and the Yellowknife residents who were there to enjoy this great community event. This student is very passionate about conserving the environment. One of the things they have been interested in learning more about is the mining industry, the impact mines have on our economy, and the impact they have on the environment. This has led them to pursue their education in a Bachelor of Science in Environmental and Conservation Sciences at the University of Alberta, where they will once again face great adversity in transitioning to a larger city at a large university. We have no doubt they will do so gracefully. Upon completion of their bachelor's degree, the recipient plans on returning to Yellowknife, which he now calls home, to work as an environmental scientist to help with the giant mine remediation project so they can help save their community from arsenic poisoning. It is a great pleasure to award the City Cab Engineering Scholarship to Sayakter Janji.
Our next scholarship is the Jenny Gamble Fournier Scholarship. I'd like to call up Sir John Franklin High School's counselor, Paul McDonald.
The Jenny Gamble Fournier Memorial Scholarship Fund was established to assist a grade 12 graduate of École Sir John Franklin who intends to pursue post-secondary studies related to communications, writing, journalism, art history, languages, or media studies.
Applicants have demonstrated qualities of creativity, independence of mind, open-mindedness, participation in school activities, inclusive outgoing personality, interest in art, travel, and sense of humor. This year's recipient strongly embodies many of these qualities. Her interest is in the performing arts, including theater, music, singing, and playing the ukulele and sharing her knowledge with others. She has been a teacher aide and a director in many SJF and NAC productions, and much of her passion has been developed by the joy she has experienced by mentoring other artists and seeing their success in return. Her credits include Assistant Director for Beauty and the Beast, SJF Choir, the Yellowknife Youth Choir, the Griffin Trio, and on directing team of N.J. McPherson's elementary school production of It's a Jungle Out There. Working with her teachers, members of the NWT Music Association, the New Cabin radio station, have all provided this enthusiastic young woman with new opportunities both within and outside of school. Next year, she will be attending the University of Lethbridge for the Pre-Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Education program, which will earn her 2 degrees in the field she loves. I am pleased to present the Jenny Gamble Fournier Memorial Scholarship to Casey Hall.
Our next scholarship is the Paul Tanner Memorial Award. I'd like to call up Avon Tremblay.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. Hi, I'm Avon Tremblay. I graduated from Sir John 10 years ago this year. Go Falcons! It is my honor to be here today to award the Paul Tanner Memorial Award for 2018. Paul was my stepmom's brother who lost a short battle to metastatic testicular cancer in 2008. Boys know the signs. Although I didn't know Paul that well, these are the things I remember about him 10 years after he has left us. Paul was inspiring. Him and his wife Francine would travel to third world countries and help those they could get glasses. The gift of sight is such a tremendous gift, and he was able to make this dream a reality before he was 50. Paul was cherished. The way I still hear his family and friends talk about him shows just how loved he was. They all truly miss him. And third, Paul was gifted. He and his band, the Chromatics, recorded an album, and Paul even performed as a solo artist at Expo 86, where he was able to showcase his talents for songwriting. This is the 7th year this award has been given out, and in true Paul fashion, we are breaking another rule set out in the original guidelines for this award, the first having been awarded to an exchange student. Today we would like to give the Paul Tanner Memorial Award to not one, but 2 young ladies. Both of these girls who are also inspiring, cherished, and gifted, just like Paul. The first recipient began playing piano when she was just 3 years old, and the fiddle when she was 7. She later began to write her own songs and play them publicly on the guitar. She has quite an extensive list of performances at local events as a solo artist, with her fiddle quartet, double treble, and with her best friend. Through an NWT Arts Council grant, she has been working with local recording artist David Doe to record her own music. The second recipient also started her music career with the piano when she was 4. After a short break from music to play basketball at 14, she picked up her grandfather's old guitar and hasn't really put it down since. After playing at open mic nights across town, she achieved her goal of playing at Folk in the Rocks in 2017. She is a member of the NWT Creative Collective as a youth coordinator and helps organize and plan events for local musicians. Congratulations, Grace Clark and Taylor Saloy. Your hard work and dedication has shown today. Continue to be inspired and be inspiring.
Our next scholarship is Enough Talk, Hurry Up, and Do It Already Art Scholarship. I would like to call up our fine arts teacher, Mr. Landon Peters, to present the scholarship.
Hello, my name is Landon Peters, and I had the privilege of directing, teaching, and getting to know Dustin when he spent a couple years at Sir John with me. I'm a part of the selection committee along with the Yellowknife Community Foundation members for this scholarship. As you can see, Dustin didn't make it here today. Although a poor substitute for the charming and charismatic man himself, Dustin asked if I would read a little something he prepared. So, as difficult as that request may be, picture a man half my age, Hollywood pedigree, unabashedly confident at the mic, and handing out $2,500 to this year's recipient. This is what Dustin sent me. The Enough Talk, Hurry Up, and Do It Already Art Scholarship, with the help from the Yellowknife Community Foundation, was established to encourage young artists not only to clearly identify their dreams, but to financially assist those who dare to go out into the world and try to make those dreams a reality. Every year, when assessing applications, it is extremely difficult to determine who is most deserving, as every artist has the potential to do great things with their abilities, and every artist's abilities and accomplishments are wildly and wonderfully different than the others. It was not just the fact that this year's recipient has been an active participant in countless school and community shows and productions over the last 11 years, or that in each of the last 6 years has been dancing approximately 25 to 40 hours a week, 7 days a week, for almost the entire year. Nor was it the inspiring leadership role she took on throughout that time, all while maintaining a high academic standard for herself. Instead, it was a single sentence in her application that made it all too clear how far she is bound to go. I never thought I would be a strong enough dancer to make it in the real world. But in the past few years, I've realized that I can do it, and it is possible if I keep working hard. I agree. You are strong, and you can do it. Congratulations to the recipient of the 2018 Enough Talk, Hurry Up, and Do It Already Arts Scholarship, Colleen Nagel, who will be joining the Concordia Contemporary Dance Program in the fall.
Our next scholarship is sponsored by the BRIC. It is the BRIC Falcon Leadership Scholarship. I'd like to call up Social Studies Department Head Landon Kowalczyk.
Good afternoon. The BRIC's Falcon Leadership Scholarship is presented to a graduating student who exemplifies what it is to be a Falcon. Eligible students must maintain strong attendance, demonstrate a solid work ethic, and make a positive impact on the Sir John community. They are caring and thoughtful individuals who lead by example. Now, this year, there were so many outstanding applicants for the award, it was decided there would be 2 winners for this year. Both recipients of this year's Falcon Leadership Scholarship have exemplified what it means to be a Falcon, and, sorry, I lost my spot. and it made a positive impact on Sir John and the community of Yellowknife as a whole. Our first recipient is an incredibly well-rounded and hardworking student. They have been active in a wide range of activities during their high school career, including participating in athletics, the Skills Canada Territorial Competition, fine arts, volunteering, and in student government. Though this individual may seem, at first glance, to be a quiet and unassuming individual, when you need something done, they are the first to step up to the plate. When no one will volunteer to help with a student activity, this person steps up. When someone is sick or is unable to fulfill their duties, this person fills in. And when student meetings fall apart, this student takes charge and makes sure things get back on track. This individual is highly regarded by staff and students alike, and is one of the kindest people you are ever likely to meet. As a representative of Sir John Franklin High School in the Taking It Global Oceanwise project, this individual demonstrated to the rest of the country just how thoughtful, intelligent, caring, and well-spoken our students can be. Our first recipient of the Falcon Leadership Scholarship is deeply committed to the protection of the earth, is an accomplished fiddle player, and a dedicated volunteer who this fall will be attending the University of New Brunswick. Our second and equally deserving recipient of the BRICS Falcon Leadership Scholarship goes to an incredibly driven individual with a limitless work ethic and a fierce sense of independence. This individual has been a strong supporter of school activities at Sir John, and as good leaders do, has been able to convince many students who might not normally participate in different student activities to in fact participate. They have been an integral part of this year's grade 12 student government, have been an active participant in Sir John athletics, and maintained a very high academic standing. When not participating in their own sports, this individual could often be seen cheering on and supporting their fellow Falcon athletes and encouraging others to do so as well. As much as this individual can be seen standing up and encouraging others, what makes this individual such a strong leader is their ability to lead by example. This individual acts as an exceptional role model for others through their deep dedication to athletics, training, and school, through their respect for students, teachers, and people in general, and for their courage to face any obstacle head-on. Our second recipient of the Falcon Leadership Scholarship is an outdoor enthusiast, the captain of this year's Challenge Cup winning boys team, and an all-round good guy. Congratulations to this year's the BRICS Falcon Leadership Scholarship recipients, Elizabeth Izzy Thomas and Jack Panay.
Our next scholarship is the Royal Canadian Legion Vincent Massey Branch 164. I would like to call up Joanne Martin.
Yes, I'm a grad mom. Very proud grad mom. The Royal Canadian Legion Vincent Massey Branch 164 Scholarship. This year's recipient is a kind, thoughtful individual and an outstanding scholar. They have excelled not only in academics, but in trades and technology studies, demonstrated by their medal finish at the Territorial Skills Canada competition. This graduate is the proud grandson of a World War veteran who was a pilot with the Royal Canadian Air Force. Both their grandfather and father were members of the Royal Canadian Legion, so they followed suit and became a cadet in the 825 Yellowknife Elks Royal Purple Air Cadet Squadron. Through cadets, they participated in Remembrance Day assemblies, poppy drives, and the Remembrance Day Vigil. They are committed to the community of Yellowknife and a volunteer with Scouts Canada, Skills Canada, Ecology North, and the Air Cadets. They will be attending NATE in the fall in the Bachelor of Business Administration program and hope to one day return to Yellowknife and work as an accountant. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of this year's Royal Canadian Legion, Vincent Massey Branch 164 Scholarship, to Luke Heel.
Our final scholarship this evening is the Bullock's Bistro Culinary Arts Scholarship. I would like to get you and return to the mic.
This year, the Bullock's Bistro Culinary Arts Scholarship recipient was chosen because of their avid participation and dedication in Sir John's Culinary Arts program. The student was enrolled in culinary arts courses in almost every semester in their 4 years at Sir John. During their spare period, this student would often go to class to help other students with their labs or help out with dishes or anything else that needed to get done. This year, the student participated in the Territorial Skills Competition for cooking and placed first. They went on to compete at the national level and placed a remarkable second place overall. The recipient of this award is a well-rounded individual who has participated in a variety of events and organizations, from volunteering at NAC, the local Brain Tumor Run, Range Lake North's Family Fun Nights, to being a member on the 2018 Grad Council. Although they are not planning on pursuing a professional cooking career at this time, this student does plan on improving their culinary abilities as a lifelong passion and hobby. We wish them the very best at the University of British Columbia as they pursue their education in environmental sciences. This year's recipient of the Bullock's Bistro Culinary Arts Scholarship is Piper Legg.
The next component of our program this afternoon is the valedictorian address. This young lady, you can read about her accomplishments certainly in the program, but certainly represents her class, her graduating class exceptionally well. She was chosen by her fellow grads and a committee who go through the selection process and narrow it down to have the valedictorian selected. Certainly a high standard of achievement, academic focus. This young lady is going to be off to the University of Victoria to do social sciences. I'd like everyone to please give a warm welcome to the valedictorian of the 2018 graduating class of Sir John is Brandon Lee.
Good evening. What an honor it is to be standing up here today in front of so many teachers, loved ones, and soon-to-be graduates of the Sir John Franklin class of 2018. Before I begin, I would like to thank my teachers, beloved parents, and best friend, Christina, for their words of wisdom and encouragement in my times of need. I am truly grateful to have so many uplifting, supportive people in my life. When I was in kindergarten, I remember when teachers used to hand out blank sheets of paper and boxes of pencil crayons, and our only direction being to draw something, anything. Oftentimes, I would sit there staring at the paper for a brief moment, and then my imagination would take over, and I would come up with the most imaginative, fascinating drawings I could think of, like rainbow-colored flowers with smiley faces, or strange dinosaur-esque creatures. But you know what? At the time, my 5-year-old self believed that I was great at drawing. Because I never feared judgment from others, and had not yet learned to criticize myself harshly. I was able to give free rein to my curiosity, and it felt liberating. As we grow older, feelings of self-doubt often pervade our minds, and we lose that fearlessness, that genuine curiosity we had possessed once before. We lose our sense of faith in ourselves. A while back, I asked my friend what her yearbook quote was, and she replied, "Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter." And it just made me think about how much time and energy we waste dwelling on the opinions of others when they may, in fact, be doing more harm than good. The opinions of others matter to some extent, but somewhere along the line, we must form our own judgments and not allow them to hinder our ambitions. Because all too often, we worry about what others will think of us if we do X, Y, or Z, when in reality, these lingering thoughts may be preventing us from pursuing our desires, whether it be wanting to dress a certain way, following dreams of becoming a doctor, or striving to be a happier, more confident person. Peering over my grad class, sitting amongst one another, wide-eyed and eager for the future, it is clear to me that we are all still young and free. Reflecting on that, I urge you to explore and to take charge of your aspirations. Whatever goals you have in mind, pursue them with confidence, and always, always strive for excellence. Now I want you to take a moment and ask yourself this: do you trust yourself wholeheartedly in the decisions you make? Think about that for a second. Do you trust yourself? I have asked this question of many people. Most have hesitated, some have said no, while others have said something along the lines of, "I only trust myself at school," or "I only trust myself at work." What I have learned is, fundamentally, all of these answers reveal a sense of doubt and hesitance in one's own capabilities. And I'm not talking about trusting yourself in small decisions, like what you should wear that day or asking for a second opinion on your essay, but major life decisions, like attending university or pursuing a passion. In truth, no one knows you better than you know yourself, and you are well equipped to make your own decisions. Yet oftentimes, there is something holding us back. Maybe you fear the prospect of making a mistake or embarrassing yourself. For many, that's a genuine fear, but what's the worst that can happen? The only risks to trusting yourself and your capabilities is the prospect of failure or rejection. And who knows? In trusting your instincts and possibly making a mistake, perhaps you will learn valuable life lessons. Adversities, risks, and challenges are an opportunity to improve as an individual and persevere. I have also learned that usually when we are asking for the opinions of others, we are asking for reassurance. We are asking for self-validation. And rather than trusting our own instincts and accepting the possibility of making a mistake, we seek the opinions of others, even though they may undermine our own instincts, because the opinions of others are formed based on their own values and life experiences. My parents, for example, hold values that are rooted in tradition and conservatism. These values were born out of their experiences as immigrants during the Vietnam War, in which they had witnessed widespread poverty and the effects of death and destruction on a fragile society. It is because of their experiences, for example, that they value financial security so highly. And while I understand where they're coming from and appreciate their good intentions, there are times when I need to make my own decisions and just trust myself. Like the fact that I would rather consider an emotionally satisfying career before worrying about financial security. In making our own decisions, it is important to be mindful of the opinions of others. But at the end of the day, we must form our own judgments. So I urge you to trust yourself, to take risks, and accept the possibility of mistakes or rejection, so long as you always persist. Finally, we must also remember to appreciate our loved ones. All too often, we lose sight of what is truly important in our lives and tend to focus on what we want or need at the moment. Without our family and friends, however, who would we have to share our successes with? Who would be there to support us in our times of need? I know for certain that years from now, we won't stress as much over our grades in biology or pay as much attention to what shoes we wore, but we will remember our shared moments of laughter, sadness, and triumph. And how can we forget our parents in all of this? Particularly when it comes to family, our mothers and our fathers, we must be more appreciative for all they have done to aid us in our success. Earlier this year, in a moment of rage, I treated my mother very poorly. I took her for granted when she deserved better. And sometime in that moment, she looked me in the eyes and said something I will never forget. She said, "You know, Brenda, you always take your family for granted because you always think they will be there for you forever and without question. Whereas with friendships, you often treat your friends better because friendships must be continually maintained and nurtured to continue." Those words completely changed my perspective on how I was treating my loved ones. And reflecting on that, I urge you to be more appreciative of your parents through your actions and through your words. Tell them you love them more often, and show them you care through your actions, whether it be simply washing the dishes or spending quality time with them. Not only that, but let your friends know how much they mean to you from time to time. Kindness and appreciation can improve relationships in unthinkable ways. As we sit amongst one another, we are now moments away from the finish line. This graduation ceremony symbolizes all of our hard work, determination, but also marks the beginning of our journey into the real world. A clean slate to be whoever we want to be, to pursue our desires, our passions, our grand ambitions. Like blank sheets of paper waiting to be marked, I challenge you to chase after your dreams, fearlessly and with confidence. Whatever goals, to trust your own like blank sheets of paper waiting to be marked, I challenge you to chase after your dreams, fearlessly and with confidence, to trust your own judgment, and to cherish those who matter to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Okay, that comes to the end of this component of graduation. I'm just going to say a couple things about what lies ahead, but certainly we want to thank family and friends for coming today and taking part in this graduation ceremony. Grads, make sure you thank those people that brought you to where you are today. Special guests, thank you for making time today to come and either present, speak. We do appreciate you coming and spending with our grads this year. A special thanks goes out to our grad committee, our supervisors, Andrea Pellerin, Kim Potra, the kids who are part of the grad council, Taylor Saloy, Sarah Taggart-Miles, Sierra Nesbitt, Ryan Walsh, Jack Panay, Grace Clark, Megan Newberry, Eva Magamba, Nikki Ryan, and Ariana Depoe, Bernier, and Piper Lay. And a special mention of thank you to Trina Riles, who was also involved. Staff of Sir John, staff in YK1 who have spent the day, thank you for coming out and supporting our grads. Certainly, we could not run something in any other venue in the city. A big thank you goes out to the community of Yellowknife, the city of Yellowknife for all their support, especially Brian Kellen, Dave Hurley, the multiplex staff who helped us piece together this venue. Lots of help. The parents who've been involved in many committees, the decorating committee headed by Mr. Kern. Obviously, we've lost the support by Ms. Janice Daly, running around by Mr. Pete McKenzie, and many parents who've put out chairs and water bottles and covers on chairs. We really appreciate it. Our Drag Grad committee supervisors, Sonia Longchamp, Sally Bunya, and Obed Duru, along with the parents involved in that big activities that'll happening tonight. So students, make sure that you absolutely thank those people that brought you to here today. I cannot emphasize it enough. I know sometimes you always don't agree with moms and dads and parents, but absolutely, it's a proud day. And make sure you understand that it took lots of people to get to where you are. Absolutely. Tonight, just so you're well aware, the formal piece starts at 9 o'clock sharp. Grads and their guest escorts need to be here at 8:30. They'll be lined up behind the curtain as all of us gather into our seats, and that will go for approximately till about 10:15-ish. Then following that, grads, you will move to the foyer. We can take some more pictures if you so choose. The grads will be off to the DD gym where they'll remain until dry grad in here begins approximately, let's say, about 11:15, and it goes till about 2:30 in the morning, and then we'll go back to the DD gym as the cleanup crew begins in here and wrap up with an auction. Without any further ado, I would like to say congratulations to all the grads of 2018 from Sir John. How we're going to do is we're going to proceed, and hopefully Mother Nature is good out there, ladies, and it's not raining, right? Thank goodness. Because what we're going to do is we're going to gather the grads outside on the opposite side of the building for our traditional grad picture. I will explain. So our photographers can probably get a head start before the crowd gets a little crazy. Moms and dads, a reminder, all the photos will be on our website. The grads are going to walk out the same way in which they came in, except basically in reverse order. What's going to happen is the back row, on my right, yes, that's your row, Matt. You're going to all stand up at the same time, all the way across. You're going to stand up, and you're going to lead out first. Then the row on this side will stand up and go all the way to the front. Mr. Adams will more than likely be last instead of first. You will walk to the back. You'll walk out, and you will leave through where Miss Young is, and you'll be going out the garage door at the back of the arena. You will make your way onto the other side of the building, the Shorty Brown. There is a red section of the building. That's actually the benches on the inside. Grads will stand in front of there because it makes it for a great backdrop. You will listen for directions, I can't emphasize enough, from Miss Pellerin and Ms. Stryker. Parents, what will happen is after the grads do leave, we would ask you to leave through the main door, and you can make your way around for more photos. Grads, you can then mingle, get photos that you want, and then we ask you when your photos are done to return your gowns back to where you would have got them this afternoon. So, one last time, a big round of applause for the grads of 2018 of Nicole Sir John Franklin High School. I will see everyone back here tonight at 8:30, but first, can I have the back row stand up, please? The whole row right across, that's it. There we go, and you may make your way out.